going to be too hot in this. Hello. Today's video is going to be kind of like a story time video, which I don't feel like I'm very good at. A little bit chaotic in here. So when I'm telling stories, I get distracted by other stories. Some of you will probably know that I did a fundraiser. I did a fundraiser for Alder Hey Children's Hospital, where I did yoga every day for a month and people sponsored me. So yeah, I got up every day in May and I did yoga every day for a month. I really enjoyed it. It was sort of an accident and I'm just so glad that it happened, because it really just kept me going for a while and I felt like I had a purpose, like I had a reason to get up. I was just loving it. Like the sponsors were just coming through really fast and I was shocked. I honestly expected to raise about £50, like I would have been happy with that. In the end, I raised £588, which is really cool. I didn't really get YouTube involved because I don't expect you guys to sponsor me. I mean, I don't expect anyone to sponsor me, but yeah, I did it. It was more of a personal thing. I did it through my Facebook page, so all the people that sponsored were like friends and family. So yeah, I raised that money for Alder Hey. It's now been sent off. The good thing about Facebook fundraisers is you don't have to do anything. Like, you don't have to sort anything after it. Just goes straight to the charity. I think Facebook take a little percentage, of course, but so the reason I wanted to raise money for Alder Hey is because I had heart surgery when I was 6 years old at Alder Hey Hospital, which is a children's hospital in Liverpool, and people, I can't really tell, but people notice my scar a lot and ask me questions on YouTube. People have asked me, I've had a lot of requests for like a story time about my surgery, but sitting down and making a story time video is quite hard for me. I get distracted, I lose my train of thought. This is a problem. Yeah, I've made a few notes and I'm gonna give it my best shot and I hope you like it. So my heart surgery was for a hole in my heart, which is a heart murmur essentially, but a lot of people can have heart murmurs and they can just live with it and it's fine. But the hole in my heart was just getting bigger and bigger and it was humongous. I think it was the size of a 50p, and I was a little teeny tiny girl because I wasn't growing very well because I had heart issues. I used to be tired all the time. My mum used to take me to school in a pram at 4 years old because I couldn't walk that far, or she would carry me. My lips would go blue, I'd get out of breath, you know, just little things like that. I think they really should have spotted it at birth, but they missed it. And then I had my tonsils out when I was 6, and that's when they found it and was like, oh my god. So yeah, that's when I was sent to Alder Hey Hospital. I don't actually remember a great deal, but there's like specific things that I remember. I don't remember being told that I had to go to hospital and have heart surgery. Again, I was 6, I was quite young. But I do remember being in the kitchen and the kitchen table was covered with stuff like pajamas, slippers, toothpaste, you know, like you're going on holiday. And I remember my mum was packing everything for the hospital. And I think I asked a couple of questions, but I don't really remember. I just remember being like curious and being like, something's going on. So the next memory, I don't remember getting to the hospital, I don't remember settling in, I don't remember any of that. I don't know if I went straight into theatre or I was there overnight. Like, I don't remember. I could ask my parents about this, like they'd know, but I'm just gonna do a story about the stuff that I remember. I remember being put under anaesthetic, and then the nurses were really sweet. They were like, you're gonna go to sleep soon, you're gonna have a big sleep. And then they held up 2 like Disney pictures. One was Pocahontas and I can't remember what the other one was. And the lady was like, right, you gotta choose your favourite. And I chose Pocahontas, and she just held it in front of my face and I just stared at it for a few seconds and then everything went black. And then the next thing I remember is waking up. I remember just waking up in intensive care and just feeling like weighed down to this bed, just so heavy and groggy. I guess the feeling now would be similar to having a really bad hangover. You know, where you just can't move, you like, your head's banging. It was kind of like that. I remember just being in this bed and just looking down and just seeing so many pipes just coming out of me and just being like, what are they for? I don't ever remember feeling scared, just curious and like wondering what's going on. When I was in intensive care, I kept begging the nurses for ice pops and like they used to give you like little shots of orange juice because you can't drink much liquid after. And I remember just begging, being like, please can I have one more ice pop, I'm so thirsty. And the nurse was like, I'm sorry, you can only have one and then you have to have a break. And then, oh, I just wanted all the ice pops. I remember getting really excited about ordering my own food. So my mum and dad had just nipped off for whatever reason and I was on my own in my hospital bed, and a nurse came round and she asked me what I wanted to eat. So she showed me that she had like a clipboard and she showed me all the options, and I was reading through the options and I was like, I don't know, where's my mum and dad? And then I remember I ended up choosing a salad, and then when my mum and dad got back I was like, I just ordered my own food, and I was so proud of myself. Another odd memory, I remember the smell of my dad's hands when he would like stroke my face at night and send me off to sleep. His hands smelt like stale cigarettes and stress. You know, like sweaty, clammy tobacco hands. Bless him. It's crazy how you remember like random stuff. Smells are like quite poignant for me. Like a smell can take me back to a place, which is crazy. I remember my sister came to see me and she brought me a lucky bag, and it was a Dick Turtle lucky bag. She said that I was so happy to see her that she nearly cried. Oh. Another thing I remember, like I said before, my growth was stunted, like I was so small. And I remember when I was recovering, there was like a playroom for the children. And I went into the playroom and for some reason, with a humongous stapled together scar, I decided it'd be a good idea to get into a high chair that was made for a doll. I fit in it though, and then the nurse ran over and was like, oh my god, no, what are you doing? I have no idea how I got in there with a huge vertical scar down my chest without hurting myself. I don't understand how I did it, but I did it. I was sat in this high chair, and I remember this nurse trying to get me out. Oh, was it my dad? I don't know. Someone was trying to get me out of this high chair. I didn't get shouted at though. I wasn't in trouble, so that's good. I was also in the local newspaper. Not my local newspaper because I live in Manchester, but the Liverpool local newspaper, because the hospital's in Liverpool, they put me on the front page. I find it hilarious. The look on my face, I don't know, I find it really funny. I just look so small and delicate and like gentle, which is the complete opposite of me now. So obviously now I love Ernie. He's my absolute G. Friends for life. He was there for me. He had my back. And I even got to meet him again last summer in Spain at the Portaventura theme park. So I queued up with a bunch of 5-year-olds to get this picture, and I'm not ashamed in the slightest. It was worth every minute. I remembered something else. So apparently I never cried once throughout the whole thing. I was super brave. The only time I cried is when, so you can get these little things that snip the end of your finger, and it's so that the nurse can just take a drop of blood. So they went snip and snipped my finger, and I screamed the place down, Daddy, no, they've cut my finger off. And like, I literally had the tiny bit of skin just taken off. So yeah, those are the memories that I remember from my surgery. I don't know how long I was in hospital for, a couple of weeks. I remember coming home actually, and like my mum and dad would be like, you gotta come and wake us up in the morning before you go downstairs. And I would wake up and sneak downstairs, like, because they didn't want me to be running downstairs with a friggin' scar. I remember just being so careful and like sneaking down the stairs to go and watch Blue's Clues. So to patch up my heart, what they did is they cut me open, they sawed my breastbone. sorry, but that's what they did. So they got a gauze and they patched up the hole in my heart with a gauze, and then the muscle grows over the gauze and it just sort of repairs itself. So I've got a gauze in my heart right now and it'll be there forever. And yeah, it's all good. I'm not classed as having a heart problem. There's no lasting damage. The surgeon said I'm just like anybody else now. So yeah, I'm really lucky. I could have been left with like a string of health problems, but I'm fine, I'm all good. The only thing that I've ever noticed that I get is if I'm really overtired, I get a little twinge. It's like someone's nipping me right where my heart is. But I feel like that's normal. If someone's overtired and stressed, I feel like that's normal for them to get twinges in the heart. I don't know. When you've had like a big surgery like that, you do tend to speculate on things, and if if you're feeling something in your body, you think, is it that? Like, you do, it's just normal. So I would like to show you my scar before we leave. How cute is my little avocado necklace? But yeah, you can see the scar here. It kind of annoys me because it's not centered. If it was right in the middle of my boobs, it'd look like some awesome cleavage, but it doesn't. Okay, I'm just gonna, do you see what I mean? They're just boobs, it's fine. Do you see what I mean? It's like off-centered. If it was right in the middle of my boobs, I think it'd look a little bit better, but whatever, it's just a scar. And then it comes down to like here, and then I've got these 2 dots, and I remember getting those taken out. It was like wire tied, and oh. So yeah, that was my heart surgery story. I hope that I told it okay. I hope that it's not confusing and it's not all over the place. I do just feel like I'm not the best at telling stories or making talky videos, but I hope you enjoyed it. And if you guys have had any surgery, let me know, because for some reason I'm interested in stuff like that. It's interesting to me. If you've got any questions as well, leave them below. I'll get back to you. Let's chat, let's communicate. Okay, I will see you lovely humans soon. Take care. Mwah.